I think that the dating aspect of B-Girls, it has nothing to do with the reason why there's not that many B-Girls. I think the reason why there's not that many B-Girls is because they're not being tested. Like for example, B-Girls are befriending other B-Girls, so they don't want to like lose their friendships, or sometimes it's a little hard to like be real with them. I mean, I can only speak for myself, and then I came from another time where you would go to a jam and it was like battlefield, and you would not talk to the girls from that area. You would not befriend them. You would look at them dirty, and you would go to the battle and you would cipher, and then if they looked at you, you would battle them, or if they did a freeze in front of you, it was battle, and then that was it. Then they went home and they practiced, and you see them at the next jam, you know? It wasn't like, let's exchange Facebook and, you know, love you. But I think that competitiveness, for us at least, we wanted to go back and be like, all right, I'm going to go to the next event and I'm going to smoke whoever, whether it was a B-girl or a B-boy actually at the time. But now I think it's everything's so like accessible that it takes that like that push, you know, it takes that part away. I think it just doesn't. I mean, we push each other, and I'm always out looking. I'm like, yo, homegirl's on some shit, you better get on that. And they're like, oh, well, I like her. I'm like, yeah, but she's on some shit, so you better get on that. Like,
I mean, personally, like going to a jam, and even when there's like a big prize money, and seeing that only 6 B-girls are signing up, like the U.S. really needs to step up their game with B-girls, and it's really uninspiring as a B-girl who's really involved in the culture and really hungry to, you know, keep our culture thriving. It's really frustrating for me to like see that a lot of B-girls aren't stepping it up out here, because if you go to Europe, it's minimum 100 B-girls that sign up at every B-girl competition, and they're all nasty. And I think a main part of why B-girls out there are so involved is because they're getting the support from B-boys out there, and they're being respected as well. A lot of the times, I feel like B-girls out here aren't given the right respect, and it's also because it's them. Like, if you want to get respect from the community and B-boys, you need to show them you're serious and you take this serious. And maybe there's just not a lot of serious B-girls in the U.S., and that's why there's not a lot of us. So I think B-girls need to really reevaluate why they're breaking, and really need to start focusing and getting serious, because you're making all of us look bad from the U.S. It's really sad, honestly. And I think we all need to like kind of uplift each other and keep inspiring each other to be like, yo, let's all kill it, you know?
But push each other. I think
push each other.
Culturally, U.S., a lot of things are just given, you know what I'm saying? So
True.
Culturally, I think, in society-wise,
Yeah.
you know, look at the different areas in Europe. Look at what they're going through socially and economically, and, you know what I'm saying, within their governments. So this dance, like, even having a conversation, one of the most really intense conversation I had was with Nadia, and this was like, what, almost 4 years ago when she came to Outbreak. And the mission she went to get here, and her dream was to come to U.S., you know, and to break here. And so she's from Siberia, which is like a tiny little place. And what the society-wise, it, you know, U.S., females are really lucky. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
But over there, it's completely out of the realm. It's really insane. And so they have to be the best. Like, they have to.
Yeah.
What they're pushing for is more.
They work harder. They work harder for it, honestly.
I mean, in Asia, what people, Asian B-girls are awesome. I mean, look at the culture.
Look at the discipline.
Yeah, but culturally as a female in those cultures, what you're supposed to do as you get older. Like, if you look at the ages, it's like, okay, most B-girls are either really, really young, and then there's this time right after college, you know, when they get out of high school, and then this college thing, and then you're supposed to like get married or, you know what I'm saying, have kids, and so this is completely this route of a B-girl is a minority and it's completely outside of anything that a female is supposed to do. We're not supposed to throw ourselves on the floor. We're not supposed to, like, you know what I'm saying, be around surrounded by men all the time. We're not, you know, supposed to like really, you know, it's the ladylike thing or whatever. It could be old school thought or whatever, but and yet there are so many of us that are still here. But in the U.S., that drive, I think, is because of the fact that it's so accessible.
Yeah.
And it's so really, I mean, a girl can go and learn a couple moves, and she'll get a gig, and she'll teach a class.
Thank you.
You know, she'll
judge,
even win or judge an event. Yeah. In certain areas, you know, you have these competitions at $1,000, but you have another one that's $100. You know, so it's like it's the same. It's the same whether you win $1,000 or $100 in this, you know, in this situation. I think the U.S. there are B-girls out there, but the few, I don't know, I think at this point is probably there's going to be a huge gap because the breaking goes in these waves. So the young group right now that's probably 9, 10, 11 years old, that all, you know, all these little girls are coming out of these little B-girl breaking schools or whatever. By the time they're like 15, 16, 17 years old, like, you know, probably 8, you know, between 5 years or so. I can do math. By the time they're like in high school, their bodies are going to be different. They're going to be stronger, and hopefully there's something for them. You know, right now I work with the United Breaking Association, and it's a trade association for professional and competitive breakers. And what we're right now planning is for breakers to be able to go to college with college degrees, for breakers to be able to get insurance, for breaking to go to the Olympics even. And in colleges, there is a lack of females in sports, and that maybe would help B-girls see if there's a future outside of like middle school, high school, some type of goal for them. Like, yeah, you can go and go college or go professional in another aspect. But other than that, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take, honestly.
Other than that, I feel like if you're an upcoming B-girl, or if this is something that you feel like you want to get into, or you have a passion for it but you just don't know where to find inspiration, I feel like you need to keep digging deeper within yourself and also within the community, because US B-girls, I think, do need to step it up and represent, because it came from here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we almost owe that to breaking. And yeah, man, like we owe it to women in hip hop to really represent. So yeah,
I like that. I agree.
Peace.